I don't know. I hear stories of people living in like dorms.
Oh, dude, it was disgusting.
It's awful.
Disgusting.
There was always one person who was like the most disgusting person you could ever imagine. Like you would be made to believe by your mum that you're a fucking slob when you go to university.
Oh yeah.
And like you need to wash your dishes, you need to do this. But then you'd meet that one guy, and you don't know how he like functioned his entire life.
Yeah.
He would just. We had this one guy in our dorm who would just take everything, take all the utilities, and any like spare plate, knives and forks, and he just like would leave it in his room and just wouldn't wash it. So we would often get times where we were just looking for, like, I would be looking for my plates and knives and forks, and I like had to ask him. And one time, I remember looking for, I think it was like a wine glass or something.
Yeah.
And he found it in his underwear drawer, and I was just like, you know what? Just keep the damn wine glass. I don't want it anymore. God, how does that even end up in that underwear drawer?
That's disgusting.
Yeah, what the
dude? I have so many horrible stories from that period, and some of the shit they used to do to each other. Like, it wasn't even hazing, right? It was just them being dicks. Like, like I remember they didn't like this one guy in my dorm because he was kind of pompous. He was like from South England, and he had a very posh accent, and he was very, very like, oh, you're too poor to talk to me.
Yeah, immediately sounds like a wanker.
Yeah, he was like an asshole, right? Like, and he would like unironically call people peasants. Like, I call people
is that where you got it from?
That's where I got it from, because I thought it was so funny that he called people peasants, and he used to think that like I was laughing at the people he was laughing at. But I used to find it so funny that we're in the year 2000 and he's using the word peasant as an insult. So he would call these rugby players to their face like peasants, and he's not like big, but they knew they shouldn't punch him.
Right.
Yeah.
So what they would do multiple times was like piss on all of his stuff in the middle of the night and like leave it outside.
Yeah.
So they pissed in all of his like kitchen stuff.
Yeah.
And so he went to go and cook the next day.
Right.
And he was like, "Where are my pans, Connor?" And I'm like, "Look outside." I told them they shouldn't do it, but you know, what can I do?
But I did not stop them. I was like,
I'm like,
oh no, guys.
I was that guy in university who was like not hated and not like in their group, but I was just like, they liked me enough where they would like tell me the shit they were doing, but would never
they wouldn't fuck with you.
Yeah,
right?
they wouldn't fuck with me. They would always like meet in my bedroom for talk. It was weird. So they would piss on all of his stuff. They got completely ruined, and they bullied the shit out of this kid. It was awful.
Well, I mean, I don't blame them. Like, fucking.
Yeah, but you're okay.
If a dude came up to me and was like, "Hello, peasant," I'd fucking give him a hand. I mean, like, let's see how these peasant hands feel, motherfucker.
Oh my god, dude, they were crazy, man. I can't believe the shit.
Yeah, I hear stories like that. I mean, like, I hear it from like people like you guys and just friends at uni who used to live in the uni dorms, and I'm just like, why did you sign up for this shit? Like, it sounds horrible.
Because it sounds like when you're moving into university, it's like, oh, it's a party every day. That sounds amazing. Right. And then you realize that people are just dickheads most of the time.
Yeah.
I just had like a flashback to a horrible thing that happened.
Go on.
So it was Halloween, right? And we had a little rivalry with the bungalow next door. We were in bungalows, by the way.
Right.
And if you have a rivalry with another bungalow that was full of dudes, what would you do to get back at them? Like, what would you do? Like, just send a message, right?
I don't know. Like,
whatever you're thinking, it's not as disgusting as what they
say.
did.
Just tell us what you did.
Yeah, what did you do?
So it was Halloween, and I was outside having a can of lager, right? I was watching them do it, and I was like, I'm not going to be involved in this, but I'm going to watch this.
Yeah, of course.
One of them decided it would be a good idea to like take a shit through their mailbox. Right? So they did that, and then they retaliated by getting that shit, putting it in a Halloween pumpkin, and throwing the pumpkin at one of my friend's windows, and it just exploded. It was so disgusting. So then they thought, okay, well, this is all in the same night, by the way. And again, I'm just watching all this unfold. I'm like, this is amazing entertainment.
I can just imagine you with your fucking beer in hand being like, this is better than any anime I've ever seen.
They were like, because they would like ask you, is it like, you reckon I should do this? I'm like, that's a great idea. That's a great idea.
Go for it. Yeah.
Fantastic idea. Then they were like, watch this. And then one of the rugby guys was like, I'm going to like smash their door in as a joke. I'm like, that's an amazing joke.
Yeah.
That's so funny. And so they smashed his door down, front door to their like bungalow. They smashed it down as a joke, like just destroying their
Just destroy property.
it wasn't even theirs. And then the university obviously found out the next day and was like, "Who did this?" And I was like, "I have no idea." And they got in so much.
Does
shit
it have
for
to do with the poop on the window?
Yeah, they were like, "Why is there a pumpkin and shit involved?"
They're like literally monkeys, just like throwing shit at one another, like
Just flinging shit at each other, right?
Because basically these guys were like all in the rugby squad in like the biggest rivalry in Wales, and rugby is like the big. Imagine like I don't know which state is like the biggest American football state,
Right.
Yeah.
But imagine like the biggest meatheads in America,
Yeah.
just in the same place. Like it's like
I mean, we kind of had that in Sydney as well with
like,
rugby.
yeah, disgusting shit is gonna happen, and
Yeah.
I guess because I was just like they liked me enough, it wasn't hell for me.
Yeah.
I mean, they would still use my shit all the time. It was really annoying.
Were you in
but-
like the really cheap dorms?
Oh, I was in the ones that cost $70 a month.
Okay.
A month. I had like what would have been like a psychiatric prisoner room. Like it's like the but they gave us a mattress, and I wish they didn't, because I immediately when I got there, I pick up my mattress and it's bright yellow, the bottom of it. And I'm like, oh god. And I remember getting homesick the first day. I'm like, Mom, I can't do this. This is disgusting. Like, because it was literally like a tiny room with a shit-stained bed that they'd obviously never changed.
No,
Like-
it was obviously like university dorms are basically just remodeled prison cells.
Yeah, like I think I'd rather go to
Shitty
jail.
internet connections.
I think I would rather go to jail at that point.
No,
like-
because the bed that they gave us, I remember thinking, oh, it's probably going to be a single bed. I didn't know there was a size smaller than a single bed.
Wait, there is? I didn't know that.
I swear, because it was way smaller than a single bed. You'd like sleep like this. Like it was you. Anything else, and like my feet, because I'm like a fairly tall guy. I'm not even that tall. I'm 6 foot. My feet would always be off the bed. That's how small my bed was.
just like 3 pillows stitched together. So there's your mattress. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm glad I never experienced that. I would just I would just bite the bullet and just take the 2-hour travel between my uni and my house, and I'd just be like, I'm in the comfort of my own home.
I learned some important life lessons in university though.
Right.
I learned like sometimes you just gotta say fuck everyone else and put yourself first. Like sometimes
I mean, I learned that afterwards.
in uni people will just fucking take advantage of you if you
Oh,
let
yeah,
them.
yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Because there was only like one bus that made it to the campus on time. Like it was like
Right,
a half
right,
an
right.
hour bus.
Right.
It's only one bus, and this line would be fucking huge to get on this bus. So if you were late, it was just whatever.
Yeah.
And I got to the point where I was just like, I'm going to be so late for my lecture if I wait in this line. I would literally just like, when people were getting on the bus, I would just walk to the front of the line. And
just
get
push
on.
in, yeah.
I would literally just like act as if I was on the bus. I would just walk up. Yeah, just go on the bus. And then everyone would look at me like, the fuck? You can do that? And I was like, fuck it, I don't care.
That's like sacrilegious in English.
British, yeah. That is like a cardinal. And I would never do that, but I thought because they're all a bunch of university students, I'm like, fuck you. It's survival of the fittest, bitches.
We used to do that in high school, where like do you guys have like middle school and high school like separated?
No, we
It's
don't.
all
No,
like
no.
7th graders to 12th graders all together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so same in Australia, and you know, every time like the school finishes, there'd always been like lines for like different bus routes that would like go in.
Yeah, same.
And of course, all the fucking 7th graders and 8th graders are just like, I'm gonna get on. They just fucking start running up. And the 12th graders and the 11th graders would just be like, all right, out of the way, bitch. The fucking push these kids out of the way. And they couldn't do anything, but it was the most liberating thing to do. It was like, finally, when I got to the 11th grade, I was like, I understand. I have power now. It's fucking awesome.
Learn the hierarchy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, step down.